Oh, hello. Well, lockdown, it's affected more other people more than me, really, because we're living out on the farm, and it happened in the springtime. I wasn't going anywhere anyway. Yeah, I wasn't planning to go, and my mother wasn't very well, so basically it didn't really affect us at all until it ended, really. I noticed that it was gone. So this is a story about how life in the forest keeps on going, really, even under any circumstance, I suppose. There was a young boy, and he lived out in the country in a cottage with his mum and his two sisters. And there wasn't much money about, and the boy had to do whatever he could to supplement their meagre income. And it so happened the woman who lived in the cottage next door, she had a rabbit problem. There were rabbits coming out in the back garden, eating the veg which she needed to supplement her meagre income. And she asked the boy to come round and have a go at controlling the rabbits if he could. So he went round with his gun, and that's his gun, in case you were wondering that one, miming there. And he hid under a hedge, and waiting for the rabbits to come. And out came the rabbits. That's the rabbits, in case you were wondering. And he took aim. I don't feel quite right. Pointing an imaginary gun at and he took aim, and he was just about to fire at the rabbit, and he thought, well, if I can shoot this rabbit, and its two brothers, the old lady, she's got a hen sitting on some eggs, and she says if I shoot the rabbits, and she'll give me the hen and the eggs, and she'll hatch the eggs out, hopefully. The hen will, not the old lady. And she can swap the dead rabbits for the hens and the chicken, and I'll keep them in a box in the back porch and feed them up. And when they're big enough, our neighbour the other side, he's got some pigs. He keeps some pigs in the back garden to supplement his meagre income, and he'll swap the old woman's chickens, for one of his piglets. And I'll keep the pig in the back garden, feed it up on some scraps, and when it's big enough, I'll take it at night time up to the squire's house, because the squire's got a sty around the back of his house with a fancy pig in it, an Oxford Sanian black boar, which is a pedigree pig, in case you city folks in Bream don't know it. And I'll put my lady pig in with his man pig, and after a few months, hopefully, I'll get a litter of surprisingly good-looking pigs, and I'll feed them up, and when they're big enough, I'll sell them at market. Thought the boy, and then he thought, and then I'll buy some, with that money, I'll buy some ewe lambs, last year's ewe lambs, and I'll keep them up on the common. And when they're big enough, I'll go up at night time when nobody's watching, and the squire's got a pedigree ram, a Wiltshire Horn ram, for you city folks in Bream. And I'll lift a few nights running, I'll lift the barbed wire up, and he'll get in with my lady sheep, and then next spring I'll have a nice flock of surprisingly fancy ewes, and I'll take them to market, thought the boy, and I'll sell them, and I'll buy a really nice suit. And next time it's the village barn dance, I'll go to the barn dance in my suit, and there'll be the squire and his daughter, and I'll be, and she'll be, and later that night, when everybody's asleep, I'll go up to the big house, and I'll climb up to a balcony, and I'll take her up to London with me, and we'll spend a week in a fancy hotel. And when we come back, the squire will think, we'll have to get married, and he'll get used to the idea, and he'll let us live in one of his little cottages up on the estate. And after that, thought the boy, I shouldn't wonder if there won't be a war, because there was a war coming. And I'll get called up, and I'll go off to go to war with the squire's two sons, but because they're rich and had a soft life, I dare say they get shot. They get shot and killed, but I'll be all right. And I'll come back, and the squire let me live in one of their houses with his daughter up on the estate, one of their nice houses. And I shouldn't wonder, the first year after the end of the war, there'll be the Spanish flu will come down. The Spanish flu, well, Chinese flu, whatever, wherever it comes. Who cares where it comes from? What kind of fool would wonder which country it comes from? And I wouldn't just be surprised. The squire and his wife, pretty old. I wouldn't be surprised they don't, And my wife, we'll inherit the whole estate, and we'll move in. and we'll reinvest all the money in proper fancy farm machinery, and possibly reopen the mill and the mine, and money will come in, and our son will grow up in the big house, and he'll be rich, and he won't have to work for anything, not like I've had to do. He'll be rich and lazy. You'll be lazy. You'll spend all his days asleep, and I'll come home after looking after the estate, and I'll shout, you'll be asleep on the 4th floor. I'll shout, wake up, you lazy boy. Wake up. I haven't worked all my life till you can be asleep in the... Wake up, you late... And with that, the boy remembered the rabbit, and he looked up, and the rabbit was gone. Or maybe the rabbit looked up and the boy was gone. Either way.